It's Friday afternoon at 2. The Lowdown with Lorenzo Alexander, brought to you by Hutch's Redefining City Dining. John Murphy, Steve Tasker, and the man, Lorenzo Alexander. Good to have you here. It's kind of sad about this.
All right, I got to ask you, have you turned in the paperwork and all that? Are you?
Yeah, I sent the letter, obviously, to Sean and Brandon and over to the NFLPA to kind of solidify my decision. And so, yes, it's a done deal. There's no turning back at this point unless, like I told Micah Hyde, unless they get a first round bye in a home playoff game. I said I'll come back out if y'all need me for that and make a run for the Super Bowl. But
exactly.
Yeah, I made my mind up a while ago, and it's time to turn the page and looking forward to it.
Well, good.
I've never asked you why now. I mean, you could. Let's face it. The way you played this year, as much as you played, you could come back and play another year.
Yeah, I could play. I mean, it's always you get into that rut of always one more. You can do one more.
Sure.
Yeah, I can keep doing one more. And it's kind of fun. I was actually listening to your podcast with E. Wood that you guys did. You kind of talked about some of your things that you talked about, and I could relate. And for me, the working out in the off season. I mean, obviously, I think it's even intensified a little bit during the season. But just trying to get ready for a game every week, it takes so much time and energy just to get ready for the game. I'm not even talking about practice and watching film, but like just healing up, mobs, stretch, massage, dry needling. Ice, cold tub. I mean, all this just to feel okay. It's not even like I'm feeling great going out there. And so that played a huge part in me wanting to retire as well.
And it's not just – and here's the thing, too. You're in this mentality. You're trying to get better. You can't get better when you're just trying to get back to where you start. You know what I mean? There's no room – There's no time to get it better.
Yeah, so I getting just sick and tired of being sore and just moving around. I kind of, expressed that to my wife. But the number one reason was really – having an opportunity to spend a lot of time with my family and really enjoy the things that we had to sacrifice for and that we earned these last couple of years, or really my entire career. Be able to travel, spend time, be able to go out and coach my son's game, not miss things that you ordinarily would miss because I either had to train or I had to go to OTAs or whatever it may be. And, my kids I have an older daughter that's 24 that's out of the house, but, I mean, I'm in the prime of my kids, 11, 9 and 5, and I want to be there. They have great talent, some ability, and I want to be a part of that cultivation period and kind of take over with my wife.
All right, so here's the thing. You probably didn't know this, but once you retire, you're alumni.
Right, or a legend as they call it, huh?
Yeah, that's right. So here it is. This is your Legends Community backpack, and it's full of Legends gear, too. There's a backpack.
It's the most stuff I've gotten since I've been here from this show.
Right.
And I'm leaving. It's like, you gone, bye. Oh, now the stuff we've been saving up.
Let me just tell you, that little backpack there, the Legends, that blew the whole budget, too.
Right,
so the next guy is not getting anything unless he sticks around for 4 years and let us save up money to get it.
Exactly.
So that came from the Bills Legend, from Jeremy and those guys.
Oh, yeah.
That's full of Legends gear that you can wear when you come back now because you're an alumni.
Right. No, I'll definitely be back. So I'm excited about that too, as far as still being a part of the organization in some type of capacity.
And go ahead.
With Lorenzo Alexander, we're talking about his retirement. He's officially retired now from the NFL. I want to take you back to 4 years, just about 4 years, a couple of months from 4 years. And what were your thoughts on coming to Buffalo from where you had been all over the NFL and coming to Buffalo under Rex Ryan and just it was a brand new thing for you?
I think I've shared this before, but I didn't know much about Buffalo, and I was like, I do not want to go up there. I mean, it was towards the end of my career. I knew I was going to be. I was even thinking about retiring during that time, and I was like, Buffalo. All I knew about it was that it was cold, and that the organization hadn't been good in quite some time. And so, thankfully, it was my only offer, and I was kind of forced to come up here. And I think a lot of that, God had His hand on it, and was able to come up here and do some special things, meet some great people, and have some memories that'll last me for a lifetime. But more importantly, some relationships that'll last me for a lifetime. After I'm done playing the game, obviously.
And you stand here now, this 4 years later, and you look back and see what had transpired in your 4 years here.
Right.
How unbelievable a journey has in the last 4 years of a long and illustrious career. You tack like 4 years on, and those 4 years packed in so much.
Right.
So much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, almost more than probably the first 11 years of my career. And that's why I think it's been so special coming up here. And a lot of that Obviously, I had a great year with Rex, but even more important, I think once Sean came in here, the relationships that we were able to build with teammates and the type of personnel and the type of people that we brought in this building made it even better. And then the community speaks for itself. This is probably the most close-knit fan base that I've been a part of, where they're more like family. I mean, they support us in all the things that we do off the field, and it has been really a cool experience to be a part of this community.
Did you feel that about the community in that first year, or were you mostly just getting football down that first year here?
No, I felt it in the first year.
Okay.
I mean, because I was going out in the community. I didn't do so much with my foundation, but obviously the Bills community service department is awesome. You know, Preston, Megan, Ryan, Gretchen, all Michelle, all those people that what they do over there was awesome. And so I got my feet wet and got out in the community then, and you could see how passionate and how big of a heart people have for each other in this Buffalo community.
I said this earlier in the week, and I think I kind of reiterate it. It's not just that the Bills fan base loves the Bills, and they do, and they all kind of have some connection to Western New York, mostly.
Right.
Have some connection to Western New York, but they also kind of have an affection for each other.
Right.
Because they know how long it was between playoff and how different our team and our city and our region is. So
Right.
it's not just that all the Bills fans love the Bills. All the Bills fans kind of have this affection for each other.
Right.
And that is a little bit of a different aspect that I think the players appreciate.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, it's a tight-knit group. They support each other. I mean, even like the sisters that I've gotten to know, Mary and Patty, and the relationship that they have together, and seeing the community come around them, or a guy like Dale Reed and all the stuff that he does in the community for everybody else. And those just, two examples of people that really love serving each other, and it's just been cool to watch and see.
Oh, there's a ton of examples.
Right.
The Andy Dalton incident 2 years ago.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And the receiver, and I can't even think of the receiver's name, who caught the pass, and then he got a contribution. Then the guy who's been hammering on Buffalo, Coleman, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Even they Bills fans kind of rally around and take great pride in going beyond the borders of the field to affect lives for the good of people. And I think that's a really nice aspect of what's happened over the course of Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane and your tenure here in Buffalo.
Yeah, and it's been awesome to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Did you see this stuff on the Bills website and social media, the video piece they did?
Oh, yeah, they did an excellent job. I actually had to go over to the video department and say thank you, not only for that video, but they've done a great job as far as just being supportive, and whatever I decide to do is finding somebody to film it, coming out, going out of the way on top of all the other stuff that they have on their plate. And it was a great video. They did a great job of piecing it together, and I know it was very emotional, and I got a lot of attention, a lot of likes, a lot of retweets, and a lot of views.
Well, take a quick look at that. It's Lorenzo Says Goodbye piece, available at Bills.com and all Bills social media platforms. Check this out. It's really good.
You never know, what God has in store as far as the future, but obviously we've planned for this to be my last year. So this will be my last home game, being able to play in front of these fans. This is my 4th year here, so I was 12, 13, 14, 15. It was going into my 12th season. I count my 2 practice squad years, even though the NFL doesn't. That first year coming, it was kind of a magical year for me. I was finally healthy and starting for the first time in several years, and so I was able to have 12 and a half sacks, and from there, the rest is kind of history. You have to make a decision. I'm somebody that has a principle of family first, and at some point, your family has to come first. The ultimate decision came down to, do I want to continue to be selfish? Because I've lived my dream. I've secured our financial future, so why would I be coming back? Versus being able to spend time with my wife, travel, enjoy some of the things that we've created together, obviously coach my kids, and then be able to do it at a level to where I'm not out there limping around in Gimpy because I decided to play another 2 or 3 years and maybe suffer something catastrophic or just continue that wear and tear on my body. And so it's been real special to kind of finish up my career in a city and a place that has offered so much, especially to my family.
Lorenzo Alexander Says Goodbye is the video piece on BuffaloBills.com and the social media platforms. And part of that piece, too, is your genuine surprise and delight at having your, 11-year-old daughter Zoe sing the anthem. That was the perfect way to end it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever. And they kept it a secret since, I think, June. My wife asked about doing it, and so she's done a great job, going down to Wall Studios, practicing for it. And to be able to go out there and perform the way she did in front of, 50, 60,000 people, with the echo and all the stuff that works against you trying to sing a national anthem in a stadium setting, and to perform the way she did was a very proud moment. And so It's cool, and I think that makes you more excited about life than anything I've ever accomplished. Is being able to watch your kids perform and grow up and do great things as well.
I think it says something too, and we've seen it before, but it continues to be part of the characteristics of the organization that you came and trying to help build here in the last 3 years with Sean, is that when you have contributed and you have done things and gone above and beyond, not just on the field, in the locker room with the young players, but it's also in the community with the Walter Payton Man of the Year for so many times that you've been nominated for it. They making a point to say thank you, while you're still in the uniform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't get that everywhere.
You don't get that everywhere.
You don't.
And they
It's
made
real.
it, and certainly you got a break by the game didn't mean anything, and you could sit down. They could take you off the field in a ceremonial way and give your daughter a chance, and you bring your family out. So that was a plus that made it. But they've shown the penchant. And once again, it's kind of a Buffalo thing to make a special point to give everybody a chance to say goodbye to you. And that, for me as a former player, and they did it for me too, and it was awesome. And it sticks with you.
Right, yeah, and you definitely don't, I definitely appreciate it. It's not something I just took for granted, something they just threw together or did, because I understand that you don't get this everywhere. And so for the organization to really just show their love, because oftentimes in this business, you just feel like, on to the next one,
and
on to the
even
next one.
Even if they feel like it, they don't get the chance,
chance,
you know?
right,
I mean, they don't make the energy to do the effort, and the Bills doing that, I think, is awesome.
Hey, did you, as you look back on your 4 years here with Buffalo, do you have a favorite game, favorite couple of weeks, favorite memories?
It's so many. I mean, obviously breaking the drought and achieving that was really cool.
The locker room in Miami?
Yeah, that was special. Game-wise, I mean, two pop out of my mind as soon as you asked me that. The the Rams game in L.A., my first year here with Rex, I had 3 sacks. Could have had a fourth one, but it turned into an interception with Nickel Roby. And then my game last year versus the Houston Texans, I think I had a sack and a half and then a pick.
Picked interception, tipped interception.
So those were probably like two of the games that kind of just pop out when you ask me as far as performance-wise. So it's just been cool. And then all the teammates and stuff that I've got a chance to meet and guys I've had a chance to mentor. Talked about baptizing people. That's something that you don't do in every organization either. So Lynn and the spiritual community that he's created on this team and getting under guys to understand the big perspective of life and not get wrapped up in this game, and there's much more to life about it. So to be a part of that culture change as well has really been cool.
You've baptized teammates, right?
Yeah. Teammates, a couple of their spouses, and so coaches, and between last year and this year, and it's really been cool to be a part of that impact in their lives.
I got to tell you, I think back to the time when I retired, and I stayed here. Now you got plans to move, but so I got to ask you. Like for the first 8-10 months I was out of the league, I ate a Whopper every day.
Well, I'm not gonna be quite like you, because like I said, I listen to the E Wood. I'm going to work out. I'm going to train.
Not me, man.
Because I used to be a big dude, and I think the motivation's a little bit different. I was a big dude. I was 300 plus pounds, and I don't want to get close to that. And I like food. I like eating. So this past week, I've been hitting up all my favorite spots. Not
I'm
really
totally
caring.
with you,
And I'm probably about I feel like I'm 260 right now sitting here.
Right.
I just been going in. So, but my wife is like, man, what's wrong with you? You gassy. I said, I've been eating bad. I've been eating bad, and my body's telling me to stop. So I got one more night. We're going out to Shay's to see Trevor Noah with a couple of coaches or a couple of friends, and eat down at Cantina Loco, and so this is gonna be my last night of splurging. And I gotta get back, because I feel bad just doing the way I've been doing my body.
By the way, if you have a comment or a question for Lorenzo, we got a few minutes left with him, and the phone lines are open at 803-0550 and toll-free 1-888-550-2550. I want to ask you about your future. In the immediate future, you will be at the Super Bowl, and I'm sure hoping to win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, right? You got a chance?
Yeah, I got a good chance. Normally they give it to guys that have been around the league for a while and have showed consistency over their career, and so I have a good shot at it. I've been up for it a couple of times now. This is my 5th opportunity. But you look around the league, we have so many great men. Obviously Kyle Rudolph, what he's done up in Minnesota. Think about Malcolm Jenkins, what he's done in Philly, and some of the social justice initiatives that he's kind of spearheaded. Richard Sherman, have really gotten to know him, and he's doing a lot of great work in STEM and stuff out in the Bay Area. So we have a lot of great guys, veteran guys that have been around the league for a while that have shown great consistency in the community. So obviously I would love to win it, because it brings additional resources to this area in Oakland, and definitely helps you as you transition as far as with your foundation. But whoever gets it is definitely will be a huge honor for.
There's just a day or two left in the charity challenge too, right? The use the hashtag
Right, the
WPMLY
online
challenge.
Right, yeah. And so I appreciate Bills Mafia obviously going above and beyond. They've been tweeting like heck, and that's all I see in my Twitter feed. And so
your
my
mom is.
my mom is on it. We got a couple other members of the fan base that have done an excellent job as well, as far as just boosting the notoriety and the visibility of the challenge.
Yeah. So so we also, it's last season of the year. Disappointing loss Saturday, and I was going to ask you, but I don't even want to. So, but we do still want to do the lowdown. So, but the lowdown now is off-season retirement lowdown.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit different this week, right? And so lowdown number one is just pack the house up, and so literally and figuratively, as far as just picking up all the stuff that we've accumulated over the 4 years that we're going to take back. Some stuff we've donated, some stuff we're leaving here because one of the coaches is going to take over our lease, so leaving furniture. But then also giving closure to my kids. So we're going to do like a goodbye party. Not that it's saying goodbye, but not seeing people as often. So letting them hang out with people that they may not go to their school or that they haven't seen as much as they would like. And then for me also, obviously going around saying goodbyes to all the people in the building and just letting them know how much I appreciate them as well as the fans. But it's not a goodbye because I'll be back and be around. But just kind of going through that whole process of kind of getting everything tied up around here, any loose ends. MRIs, I spent, 3 days in an MRI machine just doing that, body check and making sure nothing popped up. I didn't have anything. And then also for my line of duty and workers' comp, all that stuff that you had to prepare for. So really been tightening all that stuff up on all sides.
I told you this out there. I'd rather get hit with sticks than pack the house up.
It is so dreadful, and then you realize just how much crap you have, and it's too much, and it gets, and then you got to figure out how to ship it, and that's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a headache.
Spend all that money to haul stuff that you're never going to unpack,
right?
And it'll still be in a box in 5 years in your attic out in Arizona. I know it.
Right.
And you're moving to Arizona, where you played for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, we played there for a couple of years. Really enjoyed it. It's a great spot. Obviously, the weather's awesome. 9 months out of the year, we have a great. I would say almost like an artificial locker room because it's a melting pot or a destination for a lot of former players. A lot of guys that I've played with live there, and so you have that natural relationship. We can go hang out with guys, relate to guys because they know what you went through, and so get a little bit of that because that's one of the biggest things you miss when you're done. And then it's a good medium for my wife is from Utah, I'm from California. It's kind of in the middle, and the cost of living isn't crazy like some of these other places that we're thinking about living.
I mentioned we want to talk about your long-term future. Walter Payton Man of the Year coming up, and moving is in the short term. But long-term, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I have a lot of options, and this kind of goes into the second point of having those important conversations. Just talking with as you transition, you're trying to find that new purpose, that new motivation in your life. Obviously, nothing is ever going to come close to football or give you that same type of excitement, but what else can I dive into and get better at and feel like I'm making the world better every single day? And so there's various avenues for me to do that. Obviously, I want to get into a little bit of broadcasting. I have some foundation initiatives that I want to do in Arizona and as well as here in Oakland still. And so just trying to figure that out. But getting with people that know me well, talking to them, where do you see me at? Where do you see my growth? Where can I grow at? It's definitely going to help me. And then also just spending time with the family and the kids. And also having conversations with my wife as far as what does our household look like now that I'm in here and I don't have a job.
Now that you're making a mess in the middle of it.
Yeah, what does that look like? What are the expectations? So you can probably negate some of the problems that you have that you transition just because of you didn't communicate. So just having some of those conversations.
It's interesting too because I noticed this and we laugh about, I don't work out anymore and I don't do exercise. One of the reasons I don't is because I'm not competing.
Right.
And I always felt like, and probably like you, in the off season, you really still felt like you were competing. You had to get ready to go. You had to get ready to be in shape. You had to get ready to, push somebody against their will and pull them down. And so it's difficult when you're not competing.
I'm not going to do it today.
And right. So it's having a reason to get out of bed in the morning sounds simple, but it's not.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things you have to deal with as a player.
Yeah. And I've been listening to all those because his is called After. What is it called? What's his podcast? What's Next? It's called What's Next.
Yeah, What's Next.
So he's dealing with everybody that's transitioned
in
the league, and so just kind of listening to some of the podcasts, some of the roadblocks that guys have dealt with has kind of really helped me. And you say that. So, like trying to create some artificial competition, right? So one of my things is, and I know it's not going to right now really doesn't matter, but as they get older, is being able to compete with my sons.
Right.
Going out in the backyard and playing hoop or whatever it is. I want to be able to dominate them as long as I can, because they're looking to take dad over, and so that's some of my natural things. So just building some of those things.
Well, it won't flip like a switch. They're not going to start dunking on you.
It's coming. It's coming close. I mean, if you see
it.
Mason run around out there, it's not far off. He's 9, but
What
4 or
happens
5
is
years.
you see it on the horizon. That's when you taper off the competition right then and there. You never let them
that
get
what it
close
is?
before
I'm done.
it ceases to be a thing before they ever get close. Otherwise, you really do have a hard time getting out of bed.
Got a phone call here for you. Tom in Buffalo on the line. Tom, go ahead.
Hey guys, great show. Thanks. Hey Lorenzo, just 2 words to say about you: class act.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm just hoping that everything in your future endeavors just works out for you, and just everything works out.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Got a tweet, too, a couple of tweets sending in their best wishes. One from Tom Mullen, who says, if you could possibly pass this on, I want to thank Lorenzo for his attention to the South Park High School football team, of which I played back when I attended South Park. Thanks and best of luck in your next life. That's a special place in your heart.
Yeah, it is. And it's not like I'm going away, right? So I have a great relationship with Tim Delaney, who's done great work over there for years. And so even this summer, one of their standout guys, that's a young guy trying to figure out life, Marquand, is going to come out to Arizona. He's going to train. We're going to visit ASU and just get him acclimated to, what does it mean if I want to play college ball? And so I told Tim, hey, anything you need or if you ever find another kid that has great potential but has had some issues at home or just doesn't have the resources, just let me know, and we'll try to do things like that. Yeah. So I'm going to continue these relationships. You can't build them and you just, they're off, they're gone.
We've done that as well. Sometimes, for a guy of your stature, my family did the same thing as well. We'll have a kid come live with us for a minute.
Yeah.
Because they just get a feel for what it'd be like,
right.
or either an exchange student or
same concept,
or somebody
right.
just it ain't working for them in their present situation, and they need a place to flop for a while to get their feet under them, or for whatever.
Right.
And we've done that a couple of times. It's really rewarding because it gives you a chance to mentor somebody away from between the lines of the football field. And stuff. And it's important. I encourage a lot of people to do that if they get a chance to. Just reach out and help somebody out like that. That's really rewarding.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more intensive because then they get in your environment versus going to talk to them for an hour. Now they with you.
Right.
They seeing it. They seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what it takes to achieve success in their lives.
Right.
One more call to take. It is Jeff in Lancaster. Hi, Jeff. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Lorenzo?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Good, man. Good. Hey, I just want to call and thank you for everything you've done in the community. I'm an Bills season ticket holder for years. My dad dragged me down to the old rock pile in '67, and I've been a fan ever since. And I just want to thank you for everything you've done here in the community and on the field. And, hey, enjoy your retirement, dude.
Appreciate that.
Time with your family because that's what's important, man.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. Thank you.
Thanks for your call.
Yeah.
Hey, if you reflect back, Lorenzo, 15 years in the league, you came in undrafted. Mm-hmm. You spent a couple of years on the practice squad. The odds were against you back then.
Oh yeah, they were stacked against me.
Yeah, you've changed how many different positions? 5 different positions.
5, 6. Who's
changed
counting?
your body mass, your the way your body looks. And here you are, 15 years later, stepping aside and leaving when you want to, which is not many guys get to leave like this. It's pretty impressive what you've done in 15 years.
Yeah, it's a very unique situation, and I've just been blessed with really just great people. I mean, that's what it all comes back to. When you sit back and I really think about it, I've had great coaches and people to see things in me that I didn't see in myself and take out the time to whether it's teach me a technique, give me a little tip, point me in the right direction, snatch me up. I've had people at different stages of my life really help me achieve 15 years. And so, it didn't start once I got to the league. It was, back when I was a youngster with my mom and my uncle really setting that foundation. And so it's so many people. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about giving back because I could see it in my own life, the impact that it had.
Let me just say this as a former guy. Not very many guys get a chance to walk away willingly.
Right.
And so many guys, particularly when I came into the league back in the day, you had guys, a lot of old guys you talked to, they were kind of bitter. And they had great careers, and they did all this stuff, and they were, successful and all that, both financially and whatever, but they were always kind of bitter. And the only way, and the reason they were all bitter is because of the way it ended.
Right.
Either by injury, or they got cut, or they didn't get a chance to retire, or they should have had one more year, or that.
Yeah.
And let me just applaud you and say congratulations on walking away on your own terms. And I know you do this, and I probably could have squeezed another year out of it. But you know what? I'll tell you this: you'll never regret it.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for putting your family first and realizing that there's nothing more to prove. And I wish you all the best. I couldn't be prouder of you. I think you've been an asset to the team and the community. And you're everything that the NFL should be about. And I think the Bills Mafia and all the Bills fans everywhere really feel proud that you were part of their heritage and part of their team. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. Steve was trying to get me to cry in here, but it's not going to happen.
I'm trying to do it without breaking myself up, too. Yeah.
I want to see him cry.
Yeah, one of the guys I've
Come on,
listened to
man.
for a long
I
time.
cried a good beer commercial, let alone Lorenzo Alexander retiring.
Thanks, Lorenzo. Great to have
Great
you.
seeing you,
Yeah, I
bro.
We'll
appreciate
see
you
you around,
guys.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Lorenzo Alexander with the final lowdown. Steve and I coming back. One Bills Live, presented by Colada Health from the Seneca Studio. This is Buffalo Bills Radio.